Hello, everyone. My name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you my review of Episode 4 of Ahsoka. I've really been enjoying Ahsoka so far. It's been a lot of fun. It's really been like good classic Star Wars to me. And of course, I've loved seeing some of these characters from animation kind of make the jump over to live action. I thought they've done a really good job with that. And we're already halfway through the season. And this absolutely did feel like a kind of mid-season finale type of episode, and I really enjoyed it. But before I go any farther, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. And yeah, like I said, this really does give like a mid-season finale kind of vibe to it, and I really like that. I don't really think any of the other Star Wars shows have really given us a feel like that before. They've just kind of felt like another episode. But this really did kind of have like a mid-season finale-ish feel. And if you're not familiar with how I'm kind of doing these reviews, I'm assuming you've already watched the episode, so there's going to be some spoilers for this episode. As I say that, let's go ahead and jump straight to kind of the end of the episode. And I love where they left our characters here. The villains accomplished their goal. They got everything set up. They got the coordinates of the map, and they made that jump. And Baylan convinced Sabine, hey, this is the only way you might get to see Ezra again. This is the only way you can save him. And you can tell that she was conflicted, but like she felt like she kind of had to do it in order to save Ezra. And I think they did that scene really well. And Ray Stevenson's done an amazing job, and this was a really great scene. But before I kind of get too far ahead of myself and just keep talking about the end of the episode, let me jump back a little bit. I did love the action pretty much through the whole episode. This was more of an action-heavy episode, and I think they absolutely nailed it. I loved the lightsaber duels here in this. The choreography for all of them was really good. Ahsoka versus Marek was really cool. I think some of the theories on who Marek was went up in smoke, literally. It kind of seems like maybe it has something to do with like some Night Sister magic or something like that. I don't really think we're going to learn too much more about that whole situation here in this series. That'll be for kind of extra materials to flesh out. I thought the fight was great. I liked the choreography, and I think I noticed, I can't exactly remember how to pronounce it, but Marek used like a forbidden lightsaber move in his fight against Ahsoka. He turned his lightsaber off and back on really quickly, trying to catch her off guard. I believe it's pronounced Tricata or something like that. If my pronunciation's wrong on that, let me know in the comment section down below. I've really only like seen it written before. But either way, I like that. It kind of had like a samurai feel to it. And I really like the Shin and Sabine duel. And it kind of ends in really a satisfying way with Sabine being herself. You know, she reaches out like she's using the Force and nothing happens. And Shin kind of mocks her for a little bit, but then she uses those wrist rockets. And I think that's a perfect blend of like lightsaber and Mandalorian stuff. And again, I think that was really well choreographed. Well, I loved the setting. You really kind of let the lightsaber shine a little bit. It was really cool. But one of the big highlights for me was Ahsoka versus Baylan. That was a really cool duel. I really like kind of the juxtapositions between the two characters. You know, how they're both former Jedi, and it really seemed like Baylan doesn't want to kill her. You know, it's almost like he has this disappointed sound in his voice where he's like, oh, it didn't have to come to this. This is all you know, kind of things like that. But I think the way that they had his style of fighting was really cool too. He was really big, strong, powerful, took these slow but deliberate and strong lightsaber swings. It really reminded me kind of like the cross guard stance in Jedi Survivor, where everything's a little bit slower, but you're using a lot more power, a lot of two-handed stuff. And we got to see Ahsoka being a little bit more acrobatic like we know her. I thought it was just really well done. And I kind of like the whole setup there with Shin coming back in, Ahsoka thinking that she killed Sabine, and that kind of whole situation. I thought that was really well done and did enough, to kind of distract her a little bit to allow Balin to get an upper hand. And I doubt this will be the last time we see those two face off, and I'm really excited for their next meeting. And like I said earlier in this review, Ray Stevenson is doing such a great job. I really, really enjoy his character. And I really like that. Kind of seems like we're starting to get more of the personality that we know from Ahsoka and Sabine. And really, maybe the biggest thing in this episode is that we now have the world between worlds here in live action. And I honestly really, really like how it looks. It looks different than it did in the animation, but I think this is an amazing translation. And this all may be a lot for people who never watched any of the Star Wars animation, but in my opinion, I feel like that they're doing a good job of explaining things as we go and then just giving you enough to go off of. But like everybody else on the internet, I loved the Ahsoka and Anakin reunion. And I really like that they did include the line, "Hey Snips." That really is kind of like a little extra bonus for the people who've been watching the Clone Wars and things like that. And this will be really interesting for me to see if this is like actual Anakin who somehow accessed the world between worlds before some of the events of Revenge of the Sith or something like that. Or if it's Force Ghost Anakin, which that's what I'm leaning towards. And I know some people have had a little bit of a debate on, is that Darth Vader's lightsaber? Is that Anakin's lightsaber? Looking at it, I think just because it's really dark around, it's being reflected with him wearing the dark sleeves and things like that, it looks like Anakin's lightsaber to me. The little band in the middle is silver. That's probably maybe one of the most identifiable things in, the kind of screen grab we have. And the band in the middle of Darth Vader's is black. So that's kind of why I'm leaning. It's actually Anakin's lightsaber. And I think maybe the musical cue might just kind of be a reminder to some of the casual fans to kind of connect Darth Vader and Anakin, especially this version of Anakin. And I love that Hayden Christensen is back in Star Wars. He didn't really have a great experience overall the first go around a little bit, I would say. It's so nice that he's back in and he's being welcomed in. And I've really enjoyed his appearances so far, both in Obi-Wan and here. And I'm just really enjoying having him back. And I'm glad that he seems like he's having a good time. But I'm really interested to see where they take the story from here, where they take the characters from here, because right now we don't really know how Ahsoka got to the world between worlds. The last time she did, Ezra pulled her out of her fight with Darth Vader. And so we don't know how she got here this time. And then you have Sabine and the villains making that hyperspace jump to the next galaxy to find Thrawn/Ezra. And it'll be interesting too to see, because how is Ahsoka going to get there? Is she going to make this connection with the Purrgil? And then we have Hera and Carson Teva. They're trying to help. I'm assuming they're going to help Huyang, maybe help find Ahsoka, something like that. This was great. I love putting your heroes in a spot in the story where you ask the question, okay, well, what happens next? How do they continue from here? And I absolutely love it. This is just a great spot to put these characters in, especially halfway through this season. So I'm betting this next episode will be a big one. They even said that this is going to play in some select theaters, so that'll be interesting. This is the first time they've really ever done that with some of the Star Wars shows. So I think this will probably be a big one. And judging by where our characters are at, I think that tracks. But I really, really enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this season so far. I think maybe the only negative about the season as a whole, would say is that if you're not super plugged in with the Star Wars animation and you haven't seen it, maybe you might not have as strong of a connection to these characters. Maybe you might be a tiny bit lost to a degree, but like I said, I feel like they do a relatively good job of catching you up. But if you were somebody who is watching this who did not watch the animation, let me know in the comment section down below what you are thinking of this so far. Like, are you caught up to speed? Do you get it? Are you like fully invested in the story? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But that's it. That's my review of episode 4 of Ahsoka. I'm having such a great time with this show, and I'm so excited for the next episode. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of this episode. What are you thinking of the first half of the season? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. We just hit 80 subscribers. That's just really cool. So we're getting closer to 100 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It would absolutely make my day. Follow me on social media, anywhere, @CinemaSeth, and I'll see you next time.